Let's see what's on the momentum radar now with our momentum stock strategist, Dave Bartosiak. A couple of names in the area of gas, so to speak. And I won't take that any further.
Well, no, I did have tacos a few nights ago, but that's got nothing to do with it.
AGL Resources is one of them.
Yeah, it's a natural gas distributor. And they just reported yesterday. Actually, both of these companies reported in the morning yesterday. And they had huge revenue growth year over year. Over 50% revenue growth. So that's something you definitely want to see when you're looking for a stock idea. But also they beat earnings by like 60 cents. So when you have the two of those kind of combined, you know that the prior quarters have been good. And when you're in a space like, the distribution space, right? It's not like you're going to stop distributing as much gas as you did, next quarter as you did last quarter all of a sudden. Granted, you do have, the winter time, but over, cyclically over the course of the next year, it's going to do great. But when you look at the chart, of course, that's what I really like. So you have a big time momentum play here that has been on a pretty good run recently. And as long as these numbers keep coming in and supporting the story, the stock should continue to, continue on its run upwards. So it flirted a little bit with this 25-5 that I like to use. It's a 25-day moving average displaced by 5. It just gives me a nice little kind of rounded sort of guide as to what the stock is going to do. If you go with a shorter term moving average, and if you don't shift it at all, what tends to happen is you have a lot of whipsaws. So the price will be above it, and then the next day will be below it, and it keeps going back and forth, and you're really not learning anything, right? You're not seeing anything from that.
Yeah.
So when you shift it over, then you get a better picture. So this stock has been well above its 25.5 for quite some time, and that 25.5 is in a positive sort of upwards trajectory too. So that tells you that the stock is in an uptrend and a firm uptrend, and it's been there for a while. And when you have good news and a breakout, I think it's going to continue to go higher. One thing, if you look at this sort of $100 level, people talk about the psychological $100 level, right? Well, that also happens at 50. When a stock's been below 50 for a while and it butts up against that and keeps getting slapped down, then when it finally breaks to the upside of that, it usually runs a little bit, and then 50 is like a pretty good floor. So that's what happened with AGL Resources, right? And the ticker is GAS. That's easy to remember, right?
Yep.
So hopefully there's no Beano on this stock, right?
All right, and the April 29th that you referred to, or the yesterday that you referred to, is April 29th.
April 29th, yeah, in the morning.
Okay. Pioneer Energy, another one.
Yeah, this is oil and natural gas drilling and production services. So a little bit different than the business that AGL Resources is in. This benefits from, when you have things like we're having in the Bakken, right? And there's new rigs that are going into the ground, and people are exploring and trying to, so the more entrepreneurial side of the business, I think. So a little bit riskier, but there could be a lot more payoff as well. So they reported yesterday, also surprised. They were supposed to lose money, and they actually made money, so that's always good, right? I think we were looking for something like a 4-cent loss. They ended up gaining 4 cents, so that's really good for them. The revenues weren't as strong, as we're talking about with gas, but I think that could change here in the next few months. Also, Zach's number one rank, right? Strong buy. Now looking at the technicals on this one, I like this a little bit more because you can almost look at gas and think, okay, maybe that one's running away. We're kind of chasing the tail end of it, which I don't think so. Otherwise, I wouldn't say to buy it, right? But here you have a stock that went up to a 52-week high and then pulled back a little bit, found strength, and now it's going to, push up again, which is good. You have that pullback to strength. It's still in an uptrend above that 25.5, moving average that we were talking about before. Yesterday was a pretty good day for it after the earnings, so we'll hopefully get some post-earnings drift that takes place, right, where people come in and buy the stock after hearing the good earnings story that took place. And it's very close to its 52-week high right here. And relatively cheap stock when you look at the valuations overall for what could happen in the future, right? For kind of the growth in the future. Right now, the picture doesn't look that fantastic, because the earnings came in pretty low. They're just now kind of making money, but it's about growth. It's about momentum. It's about the future.
All right. Do you own either one?
No.
All right, check out other stock picks and stock picking strategies on our website, zax.com. If you're not there already watching this video, get on over. And with Dave, I'm Terry Ruffalo.